It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, Ace Cosby, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and Tom Griswold.
Good morning. It's great to be back.
Nice to see you.
See you. I'm trying to find out where. Oh, here we go. Mr. Godwin is going to be at McCurdy's Comedy Theater in Sarasota, Florida this week.
All right.
So he's heading down there. He's got a big week in Florida.
So it takes him 3 days to get down there, huh?
I was wondering where he was.
Well, he's got to get down there for the humidity festival. I don't know if you heard about it.
But, can't possibly be here.
No, we don't have the story about the poor old lady in the gator, do we?
Oh, geez.
I sent you that as a joke. And here we are talking about it.
But it's a true story?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone is shocked that there are alligators in the waters of Florida.
She fell in the pond and...
So it wasn't like a swimming thing? She fell in and then was attacked?
Right. And right at the end of the story, it said they still don't know what the cause of death was.
What?
Oh, well...
Being eaten by an alligator, I think.
Drowning or being
eaten by.
That's so dark.
Yeah.
A mixture of both, I'd say. You probably inhale a fatal amount of water while you're being twisted about.
Well, they do the death roll, right? They grab
they grab you and roll.
And go deep into the water, man.
It's got to be a tough way to go.
You know, alligators breathe air. They don't breathe. They don't have gills.
He's right.
Yeah.
Handy to know.
So
the point is, we don't have the story.
Theoretically,
we're not going to do that one.
No. Let me continue. Theoretically, Tom Cruise could drown an alligator because he can hold his breath for like 8 minutes or something crazy, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
He's a very disciplined man.
Shut up. Look it up. Don't look at me like I'm saying he's from Mars.
Tom Cruise?
Do you get that ability at level 4?
Yeah, Tom Cruise can hold his breath for, I'm going to say, 6 minutes or 8 minutes. It's a crazy amount of time. Go ahead, look
Is
it
that
up.
one of his hobbies? How do you...
Apparently back in the day, Nicole Kidman had some odor issues. And he really learned.
Who hasn't been there?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you don't mean with Nicole Kidman. You mean...
Oh, no.
He's talking about the time
Nicole's a very fine actress.
The circus came to town.
Okay, let's see now.
He does all his own stunts, and that came out of that.
Okay.
Great. So your point again is what?
That old lady's dead.
You started it, and I said alligators breathe air, so technically Tom Cruise could drown an alligator. Because he can hold his breath longer than an alligator.
Couldn't he bleed to death of getting chomped by an alligator?
No, he's going to have a hold of it. And,
air isn't your only issue when you're being attacked by a gator.
You know...
the masticating.
Alligators,
big word.
Alligators' dirty little secret is they don't have very much strength opening their jaws. Closing, it's incredible strength. They can't open. So if it's easy.
So once you get bit once and that mouth is closed, try to keep it closed.
Yeah.
So it's easy. What you're saying is, as you're in black swamp water, you're supposed to find the mouth,
right?
Stick your fingers in it, close it.
No. You're supposed to keep it closed.
You don't stick your fingers in. That'd be stupid.
Grab the snout. Hopefully, he has his mouth closed.
Again, you're in some kind of black swamp water being attacked by a gator, gouging you with his fingers.
Gator's got my head, and I don't know why.
I'm drowning in it. Gator, I'm crapping myself.
So we're not doing that
Eating
story.
old ladies.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
Find her heart.
Oh.
We're back.
Boy. But again, we're not doing that story.
Okay. We're not doing that story.
Did they get the chair out of the swamp?
I can't believe we got this far.
Okay.
You know, what's it going to take? I don't know what I don't think I'd ever have one of those chairs that take you up the stairs. I couldn't do it.
Oh, my dad had one of those.
I just set up downstairs. I wouldn't.
Really? Why?
Upstairs. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be like, hey, it's a ride every now and again.
I think it's admitting defeat. It's
that's right.
This is where I am now.
There's peace in admitting defeat.
I can't walk upstairs.
You know what you got to do?
This is what I'm doing.
You got to get some fellas to live with you. They'll pick you up, throw you over their shoulder. A couple big, strong fellas. They'll take you wherever you want to go.
You know, your father pointed out wisely many years ago that these people who weigh 800 pounds and grow into sofas, you've heard about this. house. They have enablers who evidently bring them food, right? You said that.
Yeah, things like DoorDash. That's the greatest thing on earth for these guys. Hey, Happy Humphrey, you got your fries.
Oh, boy.
Ready to order.
Life's hard. Let people get takeout. My goodness.
No, I enjoy it as much as the next guy. Those steer things are great, though. My dad had one of those.
So you're down for having one if need be.
Of course.
Yeah. Otherwise, you only have, if you live in a 2-story house, you only have the 1 story to celebrate.
Although, I guess admitting defeat also is putting a bed in the living room. I guess that's kind of
that's
like the Wonka's grandparents. Or,
one of those. That movie bothers me for many reasons, but that's one of the biggest.
Yeah, the grandma and grandpa
eating their cabbage soup or whatever in bed.
Both sides are all in bed together.
What movie is this?
Willy Wonka and the Freak Show.
Evidently, there's some sort of swapping going on between the grandparents.
Bizarre thing.
Cabbage soup is going to be a lot of gas. Don't light any candles.
And all of a sudden, Jack Albertson can get up and walk because he goes to the chocolate factory.
Yeah, it's like you didn't need to do that?
Charlie. Yeah, you didn't even have to lay there. You're there for the sex, obviously.
Okay. And he goes, hey, honey, clean the sheets. And then Freddie Prinze goes,
can we get back to the lady getting eaten by the alligator? What'd you do in your vacation, eh?
A lot of walking. Spent there most mornings at the park.
Whoa.
That's lovely.
Oh, really?
Doing some organizational things in the house.
I wonder how that went. You at the park early in the morning.
6 o'clock.
Looking for
6
love.
o'clock?
Yeah.
Looking for love at 6 a.m. in a park?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Sounds like a Raymond Carver story.
All right.
There's Willie Griswold.
Hey, Chickster.
I'm Chick. Here's Tom. Go.
Well, no, this is not Tom's turn. It's Ace Cosby's turn, ladies and gentlemen. Who's that sexy guy?
I'm telling jokes to the pigeons.
Ace Cosby, here he is with his joke of the day.
I remember when my old lady came to me with those big balloons and written on it was, "Will you marry me?" So I popped the question.
That was Ace Cosby's joke of the day.
I thought you said William Marry Me. Like it was a name.
William Marry Me.
There you go. Popped the question. You see, it was a balloon.
Yeah, and there's a balloon with
Okay.
pop.
All right. Okay.
Can we go back to Ace in the park feeding the pigeons so we have
Telling
someone
jokes?
to tell the jokes to?
Yeah.
You guys are great.
There's one that looks like my dad and he's calling him Tom.
Tough coop.
All right. Hey, this bench is comfortable. You ready to have some fun? All right.
Hello, officer.
Now, we move over to the news desk. Christy Lee, is she still in Europe?
Yeah, or is she home?
We were texting yesterday. I believe she had to be home.
Okay, so she's maybe a little jet lagged and.
Yeah, why is. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is why.
She should be here.
No, why wouldn't she? She deserves an extra day away from us idiots.
Right.
Or is it we idiots?
It's we idiots.
Well, I proved my point.
We the idiots?
Halsey sitting in for Miss Christie. And what have you got over there?
TikTok is behind a new trend suggesting that women use their own vaginal fluids as perfume.
All right.
The phenomenon is called vabbing,
Vabbing.
a combination of the words vagina and dabbing. It is alleged that vabbing uses the pheromones in the body's secretions and when dabbed onto pressure points, like perfume, can attract romantic partners. Recently, several TikTok influencers have
And
gushed.
seagulls.
And neighborhood cats. And
So are you supposed to...
You're supposed to vab it.
I mean,
you
do you
wipe
just-
and you dab on the back of your ear or your
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 rear?
pressure points to your wrists, I guess.
Did you say your rear?
Neck?
ear.
Oh, so you get it. So you get it on a finger and then you dab it. You don't have to get your wrist down in there.
No.
I mean,
You
I just,
can. Yeah, you could.
You want to go
you could.
directly to the source?
You could just.
Well, that's what it sounds like. Or do you,
Pull it out.
do you buy this in a jar?
Or do you just queef and then walk through it? You know what a queef is, right?
You can
Spray,
basically noodle yourself.
delay, walk away.
Recently, several TikTok influencers have gushed about the merits of vabbing. As to whether vabbing works, as some claim, the short answer is no. OBGYN Dr. Jen Gunther explained.
Come on.
That's not a real name.
No, she's famous.
There once was a doctor named Gunther.
Every time we have a story about this, they quote Dr. Gunther. I'm totally serious.
Had the most amazing.
Dr. Gunther explained that there is no scientific evidence to back vabbing. Gunther added, if people truly believe that there are pheromones, they've been misled. I think it shows us how very easily medical disinformation can become perceived as fact.
So again, they're encouraging, I got to get this straight. They're encouraging ladies to get their own juices, not,
Right.
Right.
you don't buy this in
Like, hey, ladies, you need a new boo. Go ahead and just dab yourself. Actually, vab yourself with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You get the
Pretty much like that.
Okay.
Maybe less clunky.
Because it would be interesting if the major perfume manufacturers were, bottling.
Oh, geez. Actual.
It's new Gucci from Gucci.
I mean, is that what Gwyneth Paltrow was going for when she did her the candle from
Tommy
Goop?
Hilfiger, Vagine. Chanel, number 69, as you said earlier. Wow, this is a really terrible idea. Now, could men do the same thing? Ballsing.
Oh, yeah. These girls won't stay away from me. I've been ballsing and they.
What would you use? Like schmegma or like your
We don't know.
They could testes lauder for men. A little vab will do ya. They'll love to run.
A little what'll do?
Vab.
Vab. Oh.
That's what it's called.
That's what they call it, yeah. Vabbing.
It's a portmanteau, right?
Yeah.
It's a combination of vagina and
Dabbing. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this?
I haven't.
Will you start doing this?
I'm just curious
Again,
if someone did it. If they walked into the room, you could, smell like someone's. Yeah.
I mean, well, obviously it's a terrible idea. So
Don't do it, ladies.
if Dr. Gunther says no, she's the authority. She's quoted in these stories all the time.
So she's the go-to.
She's the go-to. Yeah, she's a Canadian. I've got 10 stories that she's quoted in.
Is that right?
Dr. Gunther, the OBGYN?
Yes.
Yeah. You're right, Chick. That is right for a limerick. Don't you hate when you're walking through the mall and you get through that women's section and some lady just vabs you as you're going by? You're like, God damn it.
Your girlfriend.
Sample? No.
I'm going to have to explain this when I get home. There he is.
Oh, my gosh. These emails will have to wait.
We have comedian.
What does the number 2 mean on a pencil?
We have comedian Greg Warren joining us. We're looking at him on the big screen. And Greg, are you home? Are you in St. Louis?
Yes, I'm in St. Louis.
And I can't see because of the lighting in here. Who is on the wall behind you there?
That's Warren DeMartini from the band Rat.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
Warren DeMartini.
All right. Yeah. Well, the idea is to have someone else named Warren.
Sure.
Do they also have someone named Slow Gin Fizz in the band? Or is it just Martini? Nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't blame him, Chick. What do you want him to do? Backflip?
No, Greg is a distinguished comedian.
Before we get to your report, do you think it's worth asking Chick the riddle that you texted me a few days ago?
Oh!
See if he knows the answer to this?
Oh, please.
Yeah. What's Chick? Let's say you're Allen Iverson. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you a lecture about desert plants. What would you say?
Desert plants.
You're Allen Iverson.
I'm Allen.
I know it.
Oh, wait a minute. No. Cactus. we talking about cactus.
We're up in here talking about cactus. We're up in here talking about cactus.
I don't want to talk about cactus. It's cactus, man.
Very silly. I laughed a lot.
Not some sand. We're talking about cactus.
Yeah, cactus. That's pretty good. Cactus.
Yeah.
No.
I wanted to talk today about the history of coffee.
All right, I'm in.
I think we all enjoy it, right?
Yeah. It's there's several legends. My favorite takes place in Ethiopia, 700 AD. There's a guy named Kaldi.
Oh.
Kaldi is a goat herder, and one day he notices that his goats are dancing.
Wow.
And he looks closer, and they're eating some red berries, which are the coffee plant. And he starts eating the red berries, and he feels invigorated. And he's like, "Oh, I better take these down to the monastery to see what they think," which is stupid. It's if you find something fun, don't take it to the monastery. That's always been my rule. So the monks were jerks. They thought he was an idiot, and they threw the beans in the fire.
Oh.
And then just a couple of minutes later, there was a very pleasant aroma, and they were like, well, maybe we should check this out. And they made coffee out of it, and that's how you got coffee. Interesting story. Those same goats, several years later, were wandering around behind a Walgreens, and they found some Sudafed and some battery acid.
Is that right?
They ate that, and they danced, and then one of them robbed a liquor store. And,
wow.
And that's how we found methamphetamine.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. There's a couple other legends. Basically, birds with the same thing, and then a guy named Omar. But I like the Kaldi legend with the goats. But it did start in Ethiopia, and quickly it made its way across the Red Sea into the Arabian Peninsula, and that's where coffee really, really started.
Sure.
That's where we had sort of our first coffee shops. The Arabs liked coffee because it helped them get through their prayers. They have long series of prayers, and it helped them not fall asleep. I tried to find something about sort of the bladder issue, but I couldn't. I don't know if you're allowed to pee during prayer, but if you are not, then these guys are extremely tough. But yeah, that's where all the coffee shops were. That's where men would hang out and discuss the issues of the day. They were called schools of the wise.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? But I don't think that I go to Starbucks every day, and I don't think that's held up. It's morons mostly. I overhear a lot of conversations, mostly morons, and I'm part of it. I say stupid things when I'm in Starbucks, and I do stupid things. You want to hear my favorite prank?
Please.
I think Josh has been part of this, and I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. If I go to a Starbucks and somebody, let's say I'm with my buddy Josh, and he's like, "Hey, I'll pay," and I'm like, "No, I'll pay," and he goes, "No, I'll pay," and I'll go, "Really?" And he'll go, "Yeah." I get as much stuff as I can, and I bring it to the register. I get one of those espresso machines. I get and I get like aprons, and I put it all up there. And I do this every time, and not one barista has thought it was entertaining. Nobody's laughing.
He's got a French press and a mug that says,
Willie, I commit to the bit. Ask Josh. I commit to.
Oh, yeah.
I take the thing. I actually put it on the counter, and Mark Gross does not care for that.
It's a good bit.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, they're killing it in the Arabian Peninsula with coffee, and they have a monopoly on coffee. They will let coffee beans out of the Arabian Peninsula, but they have to be like roasted first. So when you roast a bean, you can't plant it and make another coffee plant.
I see.
So they wouldn't let anything out until there's this guy. He was on. He went to Mecca on his pilgrimage from India. His name was Sufi Baba Budan, and Sufi Baba Budan smuggled 7 fertile coffee beans. He strapped them to his abdomen and snuck them out of the country to India, and they started growing coffee in India.
I bet he didn't strap him to his abdomen.
Oh, you think
I bet he keistered them.
Oh, boy.
So when you plant them, they grow faster.
Yeah, they're already sort of pre-fertilized.
Yeah.
Tom, I did the research. It was his stomach.
Well, then he pushed too hard.
I'll tell you what. You know what else he snuck out was one of those mugs that says you don't want to mess with me until I've had my morning coffee.
Oh yeah,
those are good. Yeah. Sufi Baba Boudin, not to be confused with the Sufi Baba O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Who? Sorry.
Yeah. While Boudin was smuggling beans, he was out here in the field.
Yeah.
Greg.
Look at him smiling. Look at him.
Had coffee with all his meals.
Yeah, of course. Greg, did they have coffee shops in Ethiopia before they went to Arabia?
I don't think so, Josh. I don't think so.
Okay, I was just wondering if anybody they all have a coffee and a Danish. Well, we can give you the coffee. We don't have food here, you see.
Ethiopia.
If anybody's, Josh was making a joke about a starving people.
That one really went nowhere.
He committed. He didn't give up.
I thought it was like the Danish.
No Danish? Well, I'll have a muffin. Well, don't have that either.
Wow, it's very painful.
Again, everyone, it's funny when you starve.
You ever been one of those Ethiopian restaurants just handing around empty plates?
Oh, God.
He's not going to let up, is he?
No, it hasn't worked yet. I guess he figures.
If you had laughed at the first one, I wouldn't be continuing. This is your fault.
Easiest job in Ethiopia? Dishwasher.
Oh, yeah.
You guys.
Well, this one's clean again.
Yeah.
Clean.
Clean.
Really, you're just a putter-awayer.
Clean.
The
organizer.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Actually, there's some very fine Ethiopian restaurants. I think we should all.
All right, well, maybe
I'm sorry, Greg, we got to wrap this up. Where are we going?
Yeah, wrap it up, Greg.
Well, that's going to be pretty tricky, guys.
I know. Just saying, now we have the Keurig.
We have 3 minutes.
A lot more stuff.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, I guess at some point somebody invented the fact that if you have a coffee shop, it has to be, and it's not a chain, it has to be some sort of pun,
Oh, yeah, I love those, yeah.
Yeah, common grounds, uncommon grounds, where you been, daily grind, living La Vida Mocha.
I love that.
My favorite, I bless the range down in Arabica.
Oh, yeah.
Greg, my friend Bobby Buds once got fired from a place called Crepes a Latte.
That's two. I mean, that's really.
Wait a minute.
Crepes a Latte.
So you were talking about Dr. Jen Gunther.
Oh, yeah. The mighty Gunt.
I don't think it's Gunther.
Is it Gunther?
I think it's Gunther.
Hardly know her.
Okay.
It's a hard Gunt.
A hard gun to get to know.
Yeah, she's quoted all the time in these various stories.
Well,
here's one. Doctors say do not stick herbs up your mommy parts, ladies.
really?
Once again,
I think it's herbs.
Okay.
What about spices?
It's another so-called detox trend. Guess where that's emerging from? The internet. So-called lifestyle bloggers are sharing and praising the benefits of what's called vaginal detoxing. They quote, once again, OBGYN Dr. Jen Gunther. She says, your uterus isn't tired or depressed or dirty, and your vagina has not misplaced its chakra.
No, it sure has.
So she's just saying, don't do this stuff, ladies. Anyway, there are these recipes for herbal mixes. Have you ever seen anything?
It's just all nonsense. Yeah. It's all nonsense.
Have you seen the
Every
one?
day it's something different.
There's the salt-free one.
Oh, really?
It's called Mrs. Gash.
Jeez.
If you're a heart patient.
Yeah, that's. Dr. Gunter says don't use that.
Yeah,
right?
no. Even though it's salt-free. Here's another headline.
Okay.
No, you asked me. I just from our show, I found 30 stories that Dr. Gunther is quoted in. Here we go. Don't put garlic in your vagina. Headline.
Well, what if you have vampires?
I was right there with you, pal.
Well, it'll make vampires go away, but not your yeast infection.
Yeah, I think the best thing you can do for that is like vinegar in a bathtub, or maybe apple cider vinegar.
Got an old case of Dracula.
She says she's the author of the Vagina Bible.
No.
She said, don't put garlic in there. It's not a natural alternative to treat yeast infections. But once again, this old wives' tale has new life, of course, from the internet. She says, quote, ladies, stop doing this. It doesn't work. It could cause you even more problems. So, once the Vagina Bible, it's interesting that you would use the word Bible.
Yeah, I bet some people took umbrage with that. I'm looking at it right now.
Did you see this? Chapter 7, Deuteronomy.
Wow.
Continuing, you see what the
that
theme
is excellent.
Holy hell.
The theme you see. Then here's one. This is from the New York Daily News. They quote Dr. Gunther headline. Don't put a wasp's nest in your vagina.
No.
Wait a second.
No.
Yeah.
There's no way.
What was that supposed to do?
It says it's basically
Well, it causes a buzz around town. I can tell you that.
a calcification that forms when gull wasps lay larvae in oak trees. This is so crazy.
Yes.
You know what? If you're going to do it, just do it. Go ahead.
No.
Be nasty.
Don't do this stuff.
Stupid people.
It's not bees, it's wasps.
Talk to
They're
a
all
qualified. This is some recipe where you grind it up and
Ugh.
it's so crazy.
I may buy this book.
The Vagina Bible?
Is it a picture? A lot of pictures?
It's the Queen James version. It says...
Wait a minute. Does Gunther write it?
Yeah, she did.
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Jen Gunther.
I might get that.
Buy this book if you have a vagina or if you spend any time at all in reasonably close proximity to one.
Oh, well.
I won't get Godwin a copy. But I still not here to defend himself. Unfair.
Watch the entire show live or on demand at bobandtom.com.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker. If you just like that video, then do your part. Like and subscribe. You have to. It's state law.